Good morning. Thank you all for joining the Audit Committee meeting for the CalHFA Board of Directors. Just a couple housekeeping items. We do have a general board meeting that will follow this meeting. The general board meeting will start at 10 a.m. We also are using a new platform for us today. We're on Teams. So we've tested it, but you never know what might happen. So I just want to ask for your patience should anything with the technology occur, or even with our use of the technology. But in the meantime, we're looking forward to a great meeting, and I'm going to pass it over now to the chair of the committee, Delilah Sotelo.
Thank you so much, Melissa. Welcome, everyone. I did want to inform everyone on the call that the call is being recorded, just for your information. Welcome to our second audit committee of 2022. I know we've had two in rapid succession, so it's nice to see everybody. I believe that, Melissa, if I could please hand it over to you to please do a roll call of those present, I'd appreciate it.
Will do. Mr. Balmer is the delegate today for Treasurer Ma. Mr. Balmer?
Welcome.
Great. Mr. White? Mr.
Here.
White, I did. Thank you. And Chair Sotelo?
Here, thank you.
We have a quorum.
Wonderful, thank you. Welcome, Mr. Balmer, and nice to see you again, Mr. White.
Good seeing you.
So thank you, Melissa. With that, we're going to go ahead and move to the approval of the meeting minutes. I don't know if the committee members have gotten a chance to review the meeting minutes from October 26th, and if anyone has any changes or any comments. No? Okay. So do I hear a motion to approve the meeting minutes?
Motion to approve.
Okay, there's a second.
Second.
Great. So thank you. The minutes are approved by consensus. Again, thank you very much, everyone, for scheduling this meeting on November 17th. It's our last one for the year. It's our second one for the year, last and second. In 2023, we'll be on a more regular schedule. There's really no chairperson comments that I have, other than to say I really thank the team at CalHFA for their professionalism and always keeping us informed and really working with us carefully. So with that, let's go ahead and turn it over for item number 4. We've got our annual information security update. I believe we have our CIO with us, Mr. Kumar. Are you there? Oh, there you are. Great. And then we also have our information security officer, Mr. Nakawa. Is that how you say it? Nakawa? Wonderful. So I'm going to go ahead and mute, and then you guys can go ahead and present.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Can you all hear me? Very nice. Thank you. Chair Sotelo, members of the Audit Committee, Director Hall, Deputy Director Kever, my peers, staff, and members of the public, good morning to you all. For the record, my name is Ashish Kumar, and I'm the Chief Information Officer for the agency. And thank you for this opportunity to speak with you about some of our information security and cybersecurity updates. Although we must comply with security assessments and audits, and we spend quite a number of time and resources to do so, our information security program and cybersecurity is not just about written policies and documentation or even incident handling, but more importantly, it is a program to help ensure that data breach, whether intentional or not, does not occur. Now, usually I'm accompanied by my counterpart, the Chief Information Security Officer, Russell Nakao. He is actually under the weather, so I'm actually filling in for him on some of this presentation. He owes me one, by the way. Next slide, please. Courtney, go ahead and hit one more time so that the agenda can pop up. There you go. Thank you. Today, I will provide you a brief update on cybersecurity and how we mitigate cybersecurity risk at CalHFA. Now, I share some of the investments that we made in this current year and how we plan to improve in the coming year. Next slide, please. Last year, we defined cybersecurity as a practice of protecting systems, networks, and programs from digital attacks. We talked about how organizations need to have security embedded into its people, processes, and technologies. We discussed that our staff must understand and comply with basic data security policies and principles, like choosing strong passwords, but be wary of attachments in emails and backing up data. We talked about how organizations must have a framework to deal with both attempted and successful cyber attempts, and how it is essential to provide staff with technologies needed to protect themselves and CalHFA. Our focus hasn't shifted much from these principles and practices. We continue to promote ways to better our awareness towards cybersecurity. For example, we have a continual learning process to make cybersecurity an easy-to-understand topic. Our continuous security awareness program focuses on streams of reinforcement, encouragement, coaching, and nudges, and other techniques requesting cybersecurity and how it can help any digital activity. October was the National Cyber Security Awareness Month, and we carved out special training that involved visuals, games, and Netflix-style episodes and videos, all to promote security awareness. All new hires conduct cybersecurity or security training upon employment. Simulated phishing exercises continues to be a winner in raising cybersecurity awareness. Next slide, please. Now, here are some of the investments we have made towards mitigating cybersecurity risks. Emails can help us in communicating with trusted parties by sending and receiving messages. However, it can also be used to spread malware, spam, and phishing attacks. Email security is described as different procedures and techniques for protecting email accounts, content, and communication against unauthorized access, loss, or compromise. In the coming slides, we'll talk about how anti-GINA investment is helping us in this space. Security agent installation. Security agents are clients or applications that get installed on staff computers, and these are workstations or laptops. These clients assist in sending logs to the security information and events management system, scanning vulnerabilities, and assisting in updating computers with latest virus protections. Why did we focus in these areas? Next slide, please. The answer is simple. Ransomware and phishing happens to be the main reasons as to why we have made these investments. Now, it is said that 90% of the cyber attacks break into an organization via an email. Thus, 90% of the data breaches occur on account of phishing. According to the FBI, there has been a 400% increase year-over-year in phishing attacks. A phishing attack is a fraudulent practice of sending emails claiming to be from a reputable company or source in order to induce individuals to reveal personal information such as passwords and credit card numbers and personal information. These attacks are getting more dangerous and even harder to distinguish from legitimate emails. Our team has been working on protecting staff data. Our employee education so far this year, on employee education, so far this year, we have had 9 phishing campaigns. These campaigns act as the first line of education for staff. Staff can successfully report on the phishing email by either calling the help desk or by clicking on the phish alert option in their Outlook. First offenders, people who get phished, are assigned additional training, and repeat offenders are talked to by their information security team. Our staff are expected to take correct action when faced with phishing emails. However, we also understand that these malicious messages needs to be quarantined and stopped so that it can stop getting into staff's mailboxes. As such, we have made investments in stopping bad emails from appearing in staff mailboxes. Next slide, please. We have invested and successfully implemented the artificial intelligence-driven email security technology called anti-GINA email. This technology uses a self-learning approach and artificial intelligence to stop every type of email threat and assists in preventing the most advanced threats. Anti-Gina email takes care of all the daily repetitive tasks, stopping the bad, only allowing the good, and taking the least aggressive action to neutralize any given threat. It intervenes emails to protect staff from a full range of threats targeting their mailboxes. As a result, security teams are no longer forced to spend their days determining which emails are malicious. Security teams can now determine our email environment, pinpoint the biggest risks, and identify general business trends. Next slide, please. The information security team has several tools that assist in preventing and detecting cyber threats. For these tools to work, a small application must be installed on each agency device. The team has ensured all devices have the proper agents installed, and these processes are done automatically or via procedures. Next slide, please. The data from applications provide our team with an overview of our current security posture. The applications automatically reduce the harmful acts and enable our team to investigate logs determining the impact. As a result, we are restricting access from locations outside of USA. Our SIM partner can now monitor abnormal computer activities on our network 24 hours, 7 days a week, and 365 days. Our vulnerability scanner can successfully scan our computers, laptops, and servers of vulnerabilities, hence reporting actionable tasks to resolve these vulnerabilities. Next slide, please. So looking ahead to 2023, next slide, please. Now we have increased our staffing levels in our security team. With dedicated staff in the security group, we will be able to constantly manage and monitor a digital environment with existing security tools. Proactive versus reactive approach. This will build upon on the security operations functions. Next slide, please. Implementation of the One Machine ecosystem project is listed in the CalHFA's strategic business plan for FY 22-23. The One Machine project will allow almost all telework staff to have one laptop to connect to agency resources. This will be their everyday computer. As such, moving to a laptop as our everyday computer makes connecting to agency resources easier. However, it also opens the door for potential data loss. We are looking at implementing the mobile device management along with the One Machine to protect agency devices. Next slide, please. So our current password change policy requires staff to change their network password twice in a year. However, nobody likes passwords, especially when standards keep changing, trying to prevent bad actors from gaining access. Now we're looking into ways to have password-less authentication. These are recommended by our auditors and it's been approved by National Institute of Standards and Technology. Next slide, please. We have invested in a particular vendor to provide computer-based training, and training materials usually come standard or stocked. Now, without much room to customize training. For the most part, these stock training are a great way to relay important information and how it can get monotonous over time. Our security staff are planning to produce some tailored training to highlight specific things to look out for in the CalHFA digital environment. Next slide, please. Some of the upcoming security assessments. CalHFA will be completing its third AB 670 assessment in December. We have partnered with Clifton Larson Allen, and they'll be performing the security assessment per the AB 670 requirements. We have two other noticeable non-security assessments coming up as well. The first in the first part of 2023. The first one is IT risk assessment, and the second one is SSAE 18 SOC 1. The IT risk assessment is a process of identifying and ranking key information technology processes within an organization based on inherent or other specific risks. And the SSAE 18, which stands for Statement of Standards for Attestation Engagements, is another of one of the attestation that we participate in, and it establishes requirements and provides application guidance to auditors for performing and reporting on examination, review, and agreed upon procedures and engagements. So those are some of the assessments that we have planned on for our agency. Now, next slide, please. Now, these are very high-level initiatives that we are working on currently and will be starting in 2023. This concludes my presentation for you today, and thank you for your time. If you have any questions, I'll take it now, please.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for such a thorough presentation. Mr. Kumar, can you tell us a little bit about, I guess, two questions. One is, how do you anticipate engaging the board of directors in the security procedures and practices that you've implemented at the staff level? And then the second is, can you talk to us a little bit more about the ancillary, like the phones and the iPads, and what kind of security measures you're taking to ensure a consistency of application for all the training that you've done on the staff level?
Okay, thank you for your question. So if I'm understanding, the first question was around how do we ensure that the practices that we've implemented for our staff can somehow be tailored to board of directors as well? Is that correct? Okay, and then the second question.
As we interface with the CalHFA materials, like these calls and or the emails that we receive from the team.
Okay, and then the second part of the question was how we can use technology such as phones, iPads, etc. in the communication side of the boards, right? Board members as well.
Or how security is managed for staff with those,
on those areas. Okay.
Yeah, in those technologies.
Yeah.
So that it's not just in the office, but it's actually, when people check their email on their phones and or iPads.
Very nice, thank you. So in the first part is we as mentioned, we have a good information security program for our employees, and there are certain flavors of that also that gets applied on some of the I would say best practices for the board members as well. If my understanding is that board members may go through some sort of like a training. I'm not entirely sure on that. I can always go back and research to see what specific training the board members get on information security as an action item for us. But I do see an area where we can tailor some training for the board members on best practices around board communication on that side of things. And the second part, how does the electronic devices get protected? So the agents, so when we deploy our iPads and iPhones to board members, these iPads are or these electronic devices go through an MDM setup, which is a control device for the agency. So we can control if the agency if the device gets misplaced or lost, then we are able to wipe the information to ensure that the data on those devices are protected. So right now, when board members are deployed with those equipment, we implement that, and those are called supervised devices going out to the board members. Board members are also given agency email addresses, and that allows that allows for them to look at emails if it gets onto their if an information is sent over to their agency email, they can always go back and log in to those. The one thing that I know that currently does not work well is if some of the board members may have a different Outlook exchange, that doesn't work well with our devices. And we have found ways on how board members could access those emails, but it's not a traditional click on the icon, kind of Outlook icon where you can get your emails, but there's ways you can do that.
Right. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Fellow committee members, are there any questions from the members? Mr. Balmer, Mr. White, no?
Chairman Sotelo, I have one question, just in terms of the IT team. How big is the team? I mean, you've laid out some pretty proactive approaches to cybersecurity, and I wonder if any of our other state agencies has something that's similar, but it seems pretty impressive. I'm just wondering how big that team is.
Yeah, so the team that we talked about, there are two. The information security element is in IT. The IT shop has 24 staff in there. The information security team has 3 members. That includes the chief information security officer and 2 other members in that team who work on some of these information security measures.
Could we get an idea of kind of what the budget would be for going into 2023 for information technology?
I mean, we haven't done budgeting at this point. So I could talk about what our investments were last year. I think the entire IT budget is anywhere between, and that's including staffing costs, is run about, I would say, 5 to 6 million. And off that, I would say with staffing, security investment is run about 750 to $1 million on the various different investments on there.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Melissa, do we have any, I guess, any public comments on the presentation for item number 4?
So if any members of the public that are participating today would like to ask a question, if you could use the raise your hand function, and we'll call on you and take your question or your comment at this time. I do not have any hands raised at this time.
Wonderful. Okay. So moving on to item number 5, are there any other committee matters? Ms. Johnson Hall or Melissa, do we have anything before the board or any of the board, any of the committee members? Do you have any other items? No? Okay.
No, we do not have any other items at this time.
Wonderful. Okay, so the next order of business is to hear from the public. Melissa, I know we have at least one audience member. Is there anybody else that wishes to make a public comment on the purview of what the audit committee is reviewing?
Please raise your hand if you'd like to make a comment. Again, there are no raised hands that I can see.
Okay, wonderful. So thank you. I'd like to go ahead and just thank everybody for their participation today. And thank you for the wonderful presentation. If we can make sure we get a copy of that and make that available to the rest of the board, should they like to be informed, that would be wonderful. So with that, I'd like to move to adjourn. If there are no objections, we can go ahead and adjourn today's meeting. Wonderful. Thank you very much for your participation, and I'll see you all in half an hour.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.